Oh, hi. I'm here to do a follow-up video. I did a video last March about... I can't come back here last March, back from my trip to California. I noticed that everything had changed and that the river was different. Somebody had dredged the river and they dug a channel. The whole area right here that's flooded right now, there's always water back there. And there's an estuary, and somebody dug a channel out so that the water level back there would be lower and it would drain out faster. And they also dug this main channel here. The main river is here on the left, and they dug it a lot deeper. But before the river was always kind of fill up this entire area. But they dug a channel there on the left so the river would just drain out. And you can see that in my previous videos, with all the exposed rock, and you can see that they had heavy equipment back here to dig it. But there are unintended consequences. And I come out here today because it's a beautiful day. February is one of the nicest times, and you have all this like fresh, clean water because it just rained and it's flooded. And the dog's so happy. James, Bashaka. See, that's how awesome it is out here right now. Normally this whole valley will flood, like all the way. You can't see the hill over there, but all this is supposed to be underwater right now. But this whole channel drains a lot faster than it used to, and you can see the consequences of what they did. I don't know, you can't see that from here, but there's some high voltage power lines. And by pushing the river to the left, they caused erosion. And that erosion had consequences. I mean, it was an illegal operation to do whatever they did. I have no idea who came down here to do what they did. If anybody has any information, I'd like to hear about it in the comments. But there is some land here that was owned by the city of Marymount, and they just turned it over to this like private organization. But it was historically an Indian like farmland. It's been contested for many years. They wanted to build a highway through here, and that got shut down. And then this shit happened. I don't know why they did that, but people just don't have respect. Like, this is a scenic river. It was one of the first scenic rivers in America. It's been a scenic river, a national scenic river, since 1967, since that law was enacted, which means they are not allowed to do anything in this area. So their crimes were committed, and that's why we don't know who did it. But it had to be like somebody with a lot of money, because it takes some heavy equipment to dredge a river like this. I mean, this isn't a tiny river either. This is a big river. I mean, it goes into a much bigger river, the Ohio River. But if you go to other places like California or somewhere else, this is a big river. Like, look, it's all the sycamore trees here are underwater. Who knows what used to be here? I heard the British planted them all. Maybe, perhaps bald cypress. Blue heron. There's a lot of gar. Flathead. Stuff that's only, you can only find here. Let's make our way to the damage site. Just island. This is normally an island. But all these rocks, it's an island now, but before this area got dredged, it was always an island. But last summer or last spring, the water was very low, and it's not so much an island anymore because the water only goes to the left now. And you'll see what happened over here. Let's see what happened. This is, I saw it from, I first saw it from the ridge up over here on these train tracks. I was like, what the fuck? And so I went and got the boat and the dog. They wouldn't let me take the pappy on. So now I'm here. As we approach insanity. And this is the type of shit that, I'm pretty sure this is why the Soviet Union collapsed. You know, just like stupid projects like this that don't make sense and they cost money. And they're like, jobs, everybody's gotta have jobs. Like, why the fuck are you guys messing with this scenic river? It's like, you don't have to develop everything. Not everybody, just because there's not concrete there doesn't mean you can't walk on it. And like some people don't like walking on concrete. I don't like walking on concrete. I'm running out of places to walk. I'm running out of places to go. The whole world's concrete now. Wow, look at that. Isn't that magnificent? Steel structure. And I'm underneath it. I wonder if these lines are still hot. Normally you can hear the buzzing of high voltage lines. I don't hear that right now. So the lines are probably disconnected. There's seagulls. Yes, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. Oh, you gotta love this shit. You gotta love that shit. I mean, I knew something like this was. Well, I didn't know something like this was gonna happen, but I sure wish they wouldn't have done that to the Little Miami River. And then this did happen, which is like literally, this is right where they dredged too. This is the exact spot. This is right where they dredged. And clearly it has caused excess erosion. I found a place where I'm gonna get out here and we're gonna investigate. I mean, this is an abnormality. I've lived here my entire life, more or less, and this river valley floods 2 or 3 times a year. So this is the, you know, I find it funny that they dredged that area, and then this collapses. But, you know, this whole shit right here, all the way back to the hill, the Highway 32 is back there, and the water goes to Highway 32. In fact, Highway 32 is on a levee, and there'll be water on both sides of that levee. But, you know, we just got a ton of heavy rain, and it's nowhere near like that. It's just like this, but, you know, clearly the bank eroded over here because they're pushing the water towards this side, because they dug the channel deeper on this side, so that there's more bank over there. I don't know, because they just donated the land to this conservation group, you know, in name only, a conservation group, and it makes sense that they did that, you know, because they would have gotten more land. It's either that, it could have been that, it could have been Hafner's right here. They're famous for wanting to, I mean, everyone down here, like, they've done all kinds of damage and everybody hates them, but there's like a landfill that's right there. Or it could have been the bike trail company down there. Who knows? Who knows who did it? I don't think anybody's gonna admit it, and they're definitely not gonna tell anybody like me, but it's like, god damn. This is an expensive fuck up. It's like, that pisses me off. It's like, these people just can't leave stuff alone. And they're like constantly fucking people over, and it's like, look at this shit. Ugh. Yeah, seriously, what the fuck? It's not every day something like this collapses. But clearly the bank eroded over there, because it floods like this every year. It floods worse than this every year, actually. And we can see that the bank probably eroded, and then it gave way to pressure, and this is what we got here. I first witnessed this from over here. Some train tracks. You can take your car over there, or you can park at the. There's a way to access it through Marymount, but I live in Cincinnati, so I don't like going to Marymount. It's the wind. All right, that's it for today. I'm going to sign off here. Well, I'll show you a little bit about what they're doing downstream with the bike trail, too. It's like an eighth of a mile or 16th of a mile this way here. I'll show you a little bit of that. I'll combine the videos. Here I'm coming up on the bike trail where it crosses the Scenic River, Little Miami River, where I will remind you guys that it is illegal to do anything to this river. Now, the river's kind of high, so we're probably not going to be able to see it, which is another reason it's a stupid project, because, I mean, why are you paving a road through a river? That's kind of retarded. Anyway, I'm coming through this area right now, so I figured we'd check it out anyway, just so you guys can see, if anybody watches this video, what's going on. I'm approaching the area. It actually looks like they're, I see some pylons. Maybe they're building a bridge, so it might not be as bad as we thought. I want you to see this. This whole area usually floods. There's a levee right there. And usually, I mean, it's not common. The water usually goes all the way that way. And this whole, I mean, it's a lot of land. It's usually underwater this time of year, so that's why I have a feeling that this bike trail might have something to do with the river being dredged. I don't know. Nobody told me. I never saw anything about it. Nobody said anything about why that happened. I just know that happened because I saw it. And there's also this construction down here, this bike trail. And I want you to see that the water is high. Like that. It's windy out today, and the temperature's starting to drop again. It went down to like in the 20s last night. I think it's in the 50s right now. It feels good. This is the warmest it's been in a while, and I mean, I had to come out because it feels good right now. And the wind is kicking up. This makes it hard to navigate this canoe because I keep getting blown from one side to the other. Like I was back there, and it was like being in a lake or an ocean because the wind was wisping up, and it was coming up the river. And the whole area was flooded, and I was getting hit by these, they were at least 1 foot, like 1 foot waves. I was getting hit by them, and I was getting blown from side to side. I couldn't go downstream. So let's look at this. See, there's water, but it looks like they're building path that goes along the side of the road on the top now, because I can see some extended pylons where, as before, they were going to go straight through the river, which is semi-retarded. So I'm glad they changed their ways. Oh God, this wind's blowing me back upstream. I'm gonna have to start taking weights with me and put some weights in the front. Yeah, before the bike trail kind of like came here, and they had this like path that went across the river with these tubes, and it looked like they were going to channel the river underneath some tubes, which didn't make any sense because I mean, look at all this water here. I mean, there's a ton of water here, and that's not good. There's also like an ancient species of fish that lives here too that's native to North America called gar. And specifically we have long-nosed gar up here, and it's not endangered, but there are ones that are endangered. One of them's called spotted gar, which is, I don't know, it's supposed to be in the area. I don't know if no one's ever seen. I've never seen a spotted gar, but it's an endangered species, and this is its natural habitat. So they're not supposed to do stuff like this here, but I mean, here they had a channel. They had a road cut across here in tubes that the river went underneath, and it looks like they're extending the bridge, and it'll now go above. And, I mean, that would have been stupid because, I mean, it's underwater right now. Look, the wind's blowing me back upstream. Yeah, but I love coming down through here. I mean, it's nice fishing. Like, I was fishing on the canoe on the water at midnight, at night, and I mean, every time I put a shiner on my hook and put it out, I caught a catfish. Like, instantly, right away. All you had to do was sit there and be quiet and let the current take the bait, and you'd get a catfish within 5 minutes every time. I'm just gonna film this here in case anybody's curious. I'm glad. I mean, I hope that that's the bike trail that they're adding right now. I don't know. Is it the bike trail, or are they widening 32? Hopefully it's the bike trail, because whatever they were doing before was literally retarded. Down there's some nice fishing, some big ass fish. There's some big 5-foot carp down there too. It's a invasive species, and I'm gonna go down there with the 9mm someday and just kill them. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. And I don't have a gun or anything on me today, but I think the river's too high anyway. You do that in like July, the water will pool up and you'll see them in the deep pools. All right, today, say hi to Seamus. He loves this shit.